I went to Home Depot yesterday, and I kind of have an "Am I the asshole?" about it, because I think I might have been the asshole.
I'll let you know.
All right. So,
brave of you to bring up.
Quick background information: we're putting a new roof on our house, so we go to Home Depot for some drywall project. My wife and I, and while we're there, we see the shingles, and there's a woman working in the aisle with the shingles, and I asked her, "Hey, are lighter colored shingles, do they keep your house cooler?" It seems like they would, and I've read they would, but our builder says asphalt is asphalt, and the difference isn't a big deal.
How old is she, by the way?
She's 55, 60.
What color is her skin?
White.
How hot is she? Not hot is she?
She's 60, but she's not fat.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyway, she starts making shit up. She's like, I'm not sure. Have you Googled it? Like, yes, I have Googled it, but it's like hard to go against a builder who seems like a subject matter expert with Bing or whatever, like coming with some answer on the top of my search results. And she's like, well, I think that black cars are hotter inside. And it's like, okay, clearly you don't know. I would like to remove myself from this conversation. But what I did instead is I kind of hit it back. I was like, yeah, I've noticed that too with like white t-shirts. But, builder says asphalt is asphalt and the difference isn't a big deal. I thought maybe you would know more, but whatevs. And so then she brings out her phone. She starts Googling it, and it's Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I don't want your attention anymore. So I'm like backing off. She's following me, whatever. We work our way over to like the drywall aisle.
She's following you to another aisle?
Yeah. And
hang on. How many aisles from the aisle that you were just in? Did you just pop into the next aisle over?
Yeah. Like the next aisle.
But
over.
it was from the middle of the aisle to the middle of the next aisle. So I'm going to give her a whole aisle.
So now she's like tailing me to the drywall area. And I had been there earlier. And if you don't know, at Home Depot, you can buy 2x2 squares of drywall. But what I need is kind of like a 4x4. Mm-hmm. And the 4x8s are $14. The 2x2 is $7. It's 8 times larger, if my math is right. But it is only half the price, or I see what I'm doing. So I was anyway. So I was like, "Do you sell like 4x4, or do I have to buy $21 worth of 2x2s?" And there is a bug on my eyeglasses. So she's like, "Well, there's this here that's not even fucking drywall." She's pointing to plywood. Do you see the bug on my glasses?
Dude, your guys crossing is so funny.
That's the only part I saw when I looked back.
So anyway, she's pointing me to like OSB or something. It's not even fucking drywall. And okay, clearly this woman has no fucking building skills whatsoever. I see it. And then I was like, that's not drywall. That's a material made out of like, strands of wood and glue. And she's like, well, how about this one here? That is specialty drywall for bathrooms. I'm not doing a bathroom project. And I was like, I just got this from here. But she won't.
How's your tone at this point?
It's getting ramped up at this point.
But you're very nice still. You're not.
Drop the very.
Show me an example.
Here's what I guarantee you. I guarantee you that if I were standing anywhere nearby, I'd have been like, that guy's upset.
But trying to hold it in, right? He's upset, but trying to hold it in. Because when I was like, well, that's not even drywall. And then I was like, oh, well, that.
She's right. Like, a part of this is you think that this person would know better than you because they're there. But the thing is, like, when you do something like this, from what I gathered of how you are, you like to research shit like crazy, Someone else might be more casual about buying an aquarium.
A lot of money. I don't know if you know what roofs cost, but he's
my dad's a contractor, does windows, doors, and roofs, and so like I could imagine you went in hard. That's great. You like a cartoon character.
Like an air blaster to blast it.
But like a lot because you do that. You're that type of guy. I do the same thing when I want to buy something. The person you're talking to applied to work at the movie theater. This is just the job that they got. They're not like a person that's like, I fucking love roof. So like the real thing that a lot of employees get taught nowadays is like, oh, let's find out together. She thought like you're a boomer like her. She's like, oh, let's do the Google thing that people do. We could find. She doesn't know that you obliterated Google. You're like ready to call back your builder and be like, here's the thing. I read a couple, and tell me I'm crazy, but you need to call up like another builder because you've just reached to that level of questions that are beginner questions, but are way too beyond someone who's not serious to answer, you know?
So to push things along,
can't wait to hear how you're the asshole, by the way. I'm already leaning towards that, by the way.
Right? I am already like trying to separate myself from the Home Depot staff.
Can I tell you, by the way, right now, you're holding the asshole. It's you, because everything you're describing, like
I'm
this
not sure
bitch,
what that means.
You're the asshole at this moment so far, because you're like, this bitch trying to help me so hard, can't help me. Brings over another guy to fucking try and help me.
Yeah.
This
well,
bitch.
It doesn't get better for me from here because
okay, go.
I'm already frustrated with this incompetent trying to help me and not allowing me to escape these situations. Like Kyle said, if he was anywhere within 30 feet, he'd be like, this guy clearly
But why
doesn't
couldn't you
want her
wing off
around
like,
anymore.
thank you. So let me just browse around a little bit. Let me look around.
Deaf ears, right?
You said stuff like that?
Yeah, it was. I said, I got this. And she's like, no, let's bring in someone else here that maybe he can help you. So he comes over and I was like, I see you got 2x2.
He's like 18.
Do you have any other sizes? No, this guy's like
45
or something. And he probably does know what he's doing, although I didn't give him much of it.
Yeah, he's a man.
So I said, I see you have 2x2 and you have 4x8. Do you sell in other sizes? And he goes, no. I was like, all right. That's what I just want to know. Thank you. Thank you means thank you, goodbye. I thought this was well established. But no, he breaks out. Tell me more about your project. What are you doing? And I'm like, I got it from here.
He's salesman now. He entered salesman mode. I'm leaning that he might be trying to less help, more sale.
I don't think so.
I'm just walking through my thought process.
Okay.
Continue with the story here.
So there's not a whole lot more left. He asked me more about my project, and I was like, nope, I got it from here. He's like, no, tell me about your project. And I was like, enough. I'm worn out from this. I'm worn out from trying to.
You took your frustration from her and you threw it at this guy. She didn't even get it.
Pair. They were both together. There? Yeah. And I was like, I've had enough. I would rather just shop on my own. With the questions and the Googling and the car analogies and the,
it's like my Yorkie. You got overstimulated when too many people came too close. You started to snap.
I was like, I'm finished. I'd rather just work solo from here. And she wants to fight with me. The dude is like, just let him go. It's fine. Right?
What was she trying to say?
She was trying to justify her behavior and not leaving me the heck alone.
She was like, oh, dude, you didn't. She's like, you needed help. I was trying to find the help for you on the phone. You don't know what you're doing.
Here, let me just tell the story. So I get 60, 70 feet away and she yells across the store, kindness matters, like that.
So you went, when you did enough, you actually you raised your voice.
That was the loudest.
I was frustrated.
No, but before that,
I wouldn't say I was
you
loud,
raised your voice.
But I was obviously frustrated.
It was the loudest thing said in the conversation by a couple octaves.
Well, she taught me by quite a bit when she yelled across the store, kindness matters.
We didn't get there. We didn't get there yet.
We can't move along with.
But your octaves, I'm trying to. I want a legit informed answer for you. You shouted when you said enough.
Shouted is too much. No, it was all right. I'm done. I'm finished. That's it.
That.
You make eye contact.
Similar to that.
You made eye contact.
Yeah.
I've seen you do that before. It's scary.
See, I'm on the so far. Woody seems to have been curt in the end through exasperation, but he's not the asshole. He's just trying to go about his day, and then this useless idiot is the real asshole with that passive aggressive horse shit at the end. Any sort of upper hand.
I agree. That's why I wanted to ask about that. I agree with that.
Was lost with the passive aggressive. Kindness matters.
Kindness matters. She's holding.
You know what,
she's
ma'am?
the asshole right now.
You should have gone back and been like, actually, you know what, ma'am? I apologize. I'm going to need to see one of those and one of those and point to the highest stuff in the whole fucking store. Can you get that for me? Oh, no, that's not what I thought it was. I'm going to need this one. No, I'm sorry. Kindness matters. Could you pretty please get up there? Oh, don't forget your OSHA required strap, you fat cunt.
You said she wasn't fat, though.
I'm Team Woody on this one. I hate that shit. I would hate that so much. If I'm asking someone a specific question and they don't immediately come back with wisdom, that's what I'm looking for here. I do a wisdom check. They roll a 3. Get the fuck away from me. That's it. You don't know. And I'll tell them. I was like, hey, I wasn't really looking to talk to somebody about my problem. I thought you knew. I'm looking for an expert. I'll say that to your face. I don't care.
I don't know. Right. I know, I don't know. We're both
They're
great
told not to
answers.
do that, though. They're told to be like, let's find out together. That's a big part these days. That's the default, is that they want to, like, anyone who comes in, they'll literally they do that at Apple. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. You're reminding me of that scene, Parks and Rec, where the guy's like, hey, sir, can I help? He's like, I know more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
But no, everything, I thought everything was like, oh, they're only trying to help. They're only trying to do all this. But at the end, her being like, kindness matters. It's like, yo, don't. Because I come from a time like, and maybe this time is no longer it anymore, but like customer service is not like the customer's always right. And like, I've always liked that. And when I'm working, that's the part of the job is like, if someone comes in, if they're like short and curt, like you were, and they're stressed or whatever, it's like, yeah, I understand. The guy's here to build a fucking roof on his house.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's not, like, kindness matters for me as the employee now. And if he's an asshole, cool, he's an asshole. Next time he's here, I'm like, that asshole's here again. But like, this is why I'm paid, to be extra patient. I don't need to have the last word. Like, I've been in places with my mom where my mom's like given the last word on something. And I'm like, yo, don't do it. Don't like say the thing. Don't do that. I went to go buy something recently, and I went and I was like, oh, do you have the thingamajig? And the guy's like, let's see. And he turns around and he goes on the computer, and I'm like, no, dude, I just was on that website. I was just on the website before I came here. I know it's here. And so he's like, and I'm like watching, and he's like, yeah. He's like, we got one. I'm like, cool. Can I see it? And he's like, sure. And it's like, he gets up and he goes, I go, touch it with your finger, right? Because like, I think it doesn't exist. Prove me wrong, please. But like, I can't find it. Touch it with your finger. Don't tell me middle of aisle 18. I was just there. Oh, yeah. Well, this is like a thing. He had to go get it. He went in the back and came back with nothing. He's like, yeah, I don't think we have it. And I was like, oh, it said it on the computer before I got here. He's like, yeah, I don't know what's up. And it's there. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I was like, just a question. Is this thing better than this thing? And he was like, what's that other thing you said? And he's pulling up the computer again. And I'm like, what are you going to pull up the tech thing specs and like compare them with me?
Yeah. It's like, I just did that. Like,
like I did that. Do I look like a complete boomer that like came, like this thing that I was going to buy was like, it's pretty expensive. So I was like, I should know, you should know this. You work here. Like, you don't have the most of these things here. It's actually a controller, a DJ controller.
I was going to ask, was it a fun thing or a
super fun thing? I like about a month and a half ago.
Before you rotate out the conversation too much, imagine you say, all right, this guy clearly doesn't know anything about DJ controllers. Thank you for your time. And he follows you from fucking aisle to aisle, right? And you're like, that actually is an Xbox controller. They're different. You know, and
I wanted to disengage from him. You know what I asked for him? And this is an out that I use a lot. Is I'm like, thanks. I'm going to browse around myself. Do you have a card? Sometimes employees are given cards. Be like, can I get a card?
And then you rip it up in front of them. Yeah.
That'll work.
Clean it up.
No, because maybe you rip it up and then they're like, yeah, fuck the cards. I'm right here in person. Let's just talk about it.
Imagine
you punch them.
So Harley, I do thank you for the eye-opening. Like, nowadays, what customer service is, you and I are going to solve this problem together. And I'm like, no. That's what a librarian does.
Yeah.
Not a shingle salesman. I want you to already know the answer.
Yeah. You should be like, you know what? That's fine that you don't know. What I love about your store is that you allow concealed carry.
You got to you do too much research yourself. Like, these people will help you if you at the stage, like if you wanted to start to research, that person could maybe start you in the right directions to go and learn more on your own. But I feel like you're coming in, like I saw you talk about aquariums, dude. You go in on this shit, you know? Like, you're going to,
don't you? Like everybody does, right? Like
everyone does it.
A lot of people do.
A lot of people a lot of people will just pull the trigger on I got this, it's the cheapest thing, or I got this, it was
think about what it is, though, right? Like with the aquarium thing, he doesn't just put fish in a bowl and look at them. Like, there's a lot of upkeep. Like he's doing shit and maintaining and like tinkering all the time.
Science involved.
It's not about like a decoration on the wall. It's not as if he wanted a painting on his wall and then he went and learned to paint. Like, this is like an ongoing thing. I'm like that too. If I'm going to spend few $1,000s on something, then I'm going to be so well researched. And I do that thing where I'm going through YouTubers learning the new thing. And after a while, I'm like, I know more than you. never recommend again. Like unsubscribe. Like never. I was like, if he thinks that about this, then nothing he's ever said is ever going to matter.
Like that, Kyle.
He doesn't know.
One of the comments on my YouTube channel that hurt me more than anything. This is back when I did Call of Duty content. He said, "I've reached a point where Woody can no longer teach me about Call of Duty." And I was like, "Oh, damn!"
And you were like, "What? Let me see you play, bitch."
That's what I do here.
But you should have been happy that he graduated.
Then he had to start watching
more like an
the sex tutorial videos.
He was probably shit at Call of Duty anyways, lying bullshit.
Yeah, I'd like to think